Hey, y'all. Thank you so much for coming back to another What Else Is Going On podcast episode with Taria. If you're watching this, you already see the beautiful face before me. But if you're listening, let me tell you who it is. I have on my sister friend. She is my fellow Jersey sister. We met on the social medias, as you do. I think we were introduced on social media, and then
no, girl, you stalked me down. You don't remember?
You gonna lie? You gonna lie to the people like that? You gonna act like you really gonna lie to the people like that? You gonna act like you didn't slide into my DM and say I can give you what you want, like sweet tea? That's what you gonna act like that? You really gonna act
with
like
the baby with the baby emoji because I'm ready.
No,
look, and the gag is my tubes is tied.
Mine too. You did it. You slid it, y'all. She slid into my DMs and said I can give you what you want with the podcast microphone emoji. That's what she did. She slid into.
That's the story I'm telling from now on.
So as y'all can see, we are two peas in a pod. We met. We recorded the very first time you came on. We talked about 30 minutes prior to the recording.
Mm-hmm.
Gave me a word, turned on the recording, and it was just like a blessing to my soul. When I tell you we are real sister friends, like we've literally FaceTime before, and everybody don't get
from the bathroom.
A FaceTime from the bathroom. I was like, girl, I'm in the bathroom.
I was like, girl, me too. She was like, this mean we sisters now? I was like, girl, yes, me and you shall never part. What you talking about?
I said, are we sisters now? Because I don't even pick up for all the family FaceTime. Don't you do that. You call me
Don't
first.
FaceTime me.
Don't FaceTime.
Don't call me either. Text me to tell me that you about to FaceTime me.
I'm not Kim Possible. Call me, beat me if you want to reach me. Beat me, text me if you want to reach me. And I don't even own my light blue beeper anymore. Y'all.
Matter of fact, and I want to say this too. If you do call me and I don't answer, don't you leave me no fucking voicemail. You better hit text message and tell me what you got to say. You bet not leave me no voicemail. I'll disable it.
And when you call the number, then it says the voicemail box you're trying to reach is not in service. Yes. I want to certain people when they call, I want to send back a text that says unsubscribe. I'm unsubscribed from phone calls. Y'all, please.
The customer you have
trying to reach is the customer you're trying to reach has a phone service that is working, but currently she can't talk.
It's working, but it's unavailable to you.
It's unavailable to you. Y'all, welcome my sister, Elle Murasaki. I am of a particular age, and I only remember one verse from this song. And so I like to call her Big L because the song is, it's the Big L. That's all I remember. I don't remember what song it's from. I don't remember what verse it's from. I cannot remember. I just know it's a 90s song, I believe, maybe early 2000s.
Welcome, you sing that sister. Every time.
Don't I sing it every time?
Every time.
It's nice to know some things don't change.
First of all, I want to say you giving me like real ambiance. It's the fireplace in the background. It's giving. It's just giving. It's giving television.
I'm classy, baby.
Come in and take a seat with me, like cable television. You know what I'm saying?
Cable. That's what I'm trying. Come on. We sitting on the couch having elevated conversations.
That's it. It's giving a smidge mother love.
Did you say
That's my girl. When the people rang the doorbell, she's like, come on down here. Yeah,
I wanted to give, I know that you didn't watch it because I saw your video that you did. Y'all, I will make sure that I drop all of Elle's social so you can follow her. She makes quite a splash on the TikToks and everywhere else, anywhere she touches, really. She has a podcast called Stripped, and it is truly a podcast that you get something from. You get laughs, you get stories, you may even cry, but you walk away with encouragement because sometimes that's the one thing that I find that we need. Even if it's just a girl, keep going. Somebody talking about your same situation and they've now come out on the other side, or they may even still be going through it. But sometimes we just want to know somebody else is in the same, like, I'm not the only one dealing with this.
Hello? Like, hello? Am I in the trenches by myself? Is anybody here?
Anybody here? And so
sometimes you need to know other people are in the trenches too.
And that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to touch on, girl, why I was getting ready to say Social Security and not social media and Bravo.
No, let's talk. Let's touch on Social Security because it ain't gonna be none left. Okay.
I was talking to my mom. I had questions the other day. I said, Mom, so I was thinking we would only have Corey's retirement when he retired because I haven't worked a corporate job, right? But in a while, but still believing in the blessings that'll come from this platform, right? So we won't have to worry about that. So I know the Bible says, don't worry about what tomorrow will bring, but also you can't be foolish either and not think about it, right? So I was like, Mom, we're gonna I just remembered something. I remembered tomorrow. Go ahead.
I just live. Stop. Because this will be the video Kelly Price fine and be like, now hold on, because I ain't sound like that.
Right. Or say you didn't get a copyright. It was less than 10 seconds. Kelly, calm down.
Amen.
Child, where is Kelly? Are we still trying to find her? I know we found her when she was gone before, but she's back, right? Kelly's back. Okay, I'm gonna move on. So I had talked to my mom about
pray for the people.
I had talked and I said, okay, I said, Mom, I'm feeling better. We'll have Corey's 401k. Oh, we'll get Social Security too. So we will have checks coming in. Then I said, it'll still be here, right? Won't it? Now, I am of a particular age, so I would like to think in 20-some years it would still be here, or I'll get what I paid into it, even if I know he's paid more, but it did make me feel a little bit better.
That thing it's not coming.
I rebuke that. It's going to be here.
You know what, though? I said to myself said, it's off in a crumble. Like, I just
listen.
I hate to be like the sky is falling type of gal. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when you follow the trends, do you need to align yourself and do things to set yourself up financially? In the event that in 20 years, life looks exactly like what it looked like 20 years ago, absolutely. Be ye smart. But
be ye smart. Come on.
But I don't think it's to the point of like, these 9-to-5s ain't even paying us to live day to day. So how are you going to stress yourself out about trying to squeeze out savings from a check that's not even meeting your needs?
My mom said there are times when you can't afford to say. She used to tell me that all the time. If you have a bill that needs to be paid, but you have money sitting in your savings, pay your bill.
Hell yeah.
So there may be times when you may not. And it is nice to know, not nice that it's happening, but nice to know that you are not the only one in these situations when they happen. And also it kind of gives you hope, like, okay, we were here before, you'll be out of it again. You know what I mean? Like life is, what is cyclical. So, but it is a lot going on. Speaking of a lot going on, I want to get your opinion on something before we talk even a little bit of the Bravo shows. I was watching my girl at Jamie That's Me. Shout out to Jamie That's Me. I love her. Her YouTube.
Come on, Jamie.
She is the first person I saw that talked about this, and it got me thinking today. We know that Monique, the comedian and actress, Oscar winner, I think she won an Oscar, right? Has talked about.
She won an Oscar, right? Is the shadiest thing you've ever said to me.
I did not mean it that way. I did not mean it that way. She wanted Oscar. I promise I didn't mean it that way. I promise.
Now you can get cussed out on tour. Ooh,
right. She gonna say, come here, my sweet baby. Monique, don't. So
listen, she talked about Monique not finna sweet baby me, but go ahead.
Listen, that because I have my own babies. So she talked about pay inequities. It started out because of something that happened to her personally. And then she started talking about Black women as a whole. There are some people that say Monique was only talking about herself, but I do find that a lot of movements come because something happened to you personally. And you're like, wait a minute, I'm going to speak up. And then it turns into a movement for other people. So I'm not opposed to somebody speaking out because of a personal experience that happened to them, right? Flash forward to the NAACP Image Awards this past Saturday. And Queen Latifah shouted out Taraji. Like she shouted out Taraji for speaking about inequities in pay for women of color. And there's now a conversation happening saying they should have shouted out Monique, or that Taraji needs to come out and mention Monique. And Jamie had a good point. She said, so should Monique mention the women before her that talked about it? And should they mention the women before her that talked? And so it's like, does she owe that to Monique? What do you think about that?
I don't owe Monique. Don't nobody owe Monique shit. And that's part of the problem. Nobody owes Monique anything. Okay. Even when she was talking on Cat Williams, like, oh, I'm offer only. Because you won an Oscar a gajillion years ago, no tea, no shade. You feel what I'm saying? But at some point, you've got to update the resume. And if the resume hasn't been updated, then you're going to have to do this audition. I want to say, first and foremost, Auntie Monique, and I call her Auntie because she's not an auntie, right?
Got you. I like that.
Your auntie is lit. She outside. You're going to sneak out. You're going to go to the party. Your auntie going to come pick you up and tell you, hey, don't do this no more. And then she's going to make sure your mama distracted while you sneak back up into your room. Your aunt is a 50-year-old woman who feels like she done worked all her life to be able to say whatever the fuck she want to say. And because she's telling you that she means it with love, you should be okay with the disrespect that comes out of her mouth. That's what an auntie will do. Right?
Okay.
She's an auntie. It don't matter how much love that you got behind it, telling these girls that they are less than because they choose to walk outside in a bonnet. That sounds stupid as hell. You feel what I'm saying? Oh, but it means something because I mean it with love. It don't mean jack shit. It don't. And I would love for you to stop thinking that it does. So
because you say it with love.
Or you say that you say it with love.
That's true.
You go into the whole definition of what love is, and then we can unpack the fact that it does not exist in your talking.
One of them is the way she keeps bringing up DL Hughley's daughter. To me, that's the most, it's like you still keep referencing her as a point to talk about how not good of a man he is. There's other points that you can use without continuing to use his daughter and reopen wounds.
But even then, and I said this on my social media, everything ill that we know about DL Hughley that Monique references, DL Hughley told us through the lens of growth. It's never been in a tabloid. He ain't never bragged about it and then had to spin the block sitting down with Matt Barnes talking about something. I used to be this way. Okay. Clock that, please. That man's married. Anyway, it just like, he's told us everything, and he's told it through the perspective of growth, through the lens of maybe if somebody just one out there hears my story, that then there doesn't have to be two of me. You feel what I'm saying? So to use what somebody told you against them is like, you don't get no points for that. Also, messaging is extremely important.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Did Taraji and Monique say the same things? Yes. Did they experience the same things? From what we know, yes. But when they talked about it, when attention was drawn to it, it wasn't packed up in a decent marketing package for Monique, right? She did it with Sydney's hand up her back, looking like the puppets from the NSYNC video. First of all, I don't want to hear it. Second of all, nobody in the world wants to hear a Black woman talk about the inequities that she faces in the world while being prompted by another man, Black or otherwise. You feel what I'm saying? He jumping in on the conversation. He over talking her. The first place you experience inequality was at home, because this man won't shut the fuck up while you talking.
Yeah.
Can I cuss? I'm sorry.
You could say whatever you have. How dare you? You gonna ask me that? You've been on here 11 times, and now all of a sudden you want to ask me?
I'm sorry. I know I normally don't ask when I cuss, but you know, you trying to get monetized. You know, I don't want to be the rock that stands in the way. No, but
fair.
Like,
okay.
The disconnect with Sydney and Monique.
Yeah.
In my humble opinion, for whatever that's worth, is it appears to be cosplaying as a loving, supportive husband, right?
Okay.
Those of us out there who have experienced, witnessed, been able to have the privilege of experiencing being that a loved one, a spouse passes away or whatever. Anybody who has known real love, supportive love, right, looks at that and says, no. So that's boom, one market gone.
Mm.
Now you looking at people who haven't had it. That look controlling to them. That's another market gone. So who you talking to? Tiffany Haddish? She's not listening, babe. You don't relate to us. Taraji related to us. You ever been so fucking tired of your job that don't pay you enough and you still got to go to that job and perform? While
even if you love it.
Come on. While people still in your face asking for more, right? Giving you dressing rooms that look less than. While you on the set with somebody and you got to walk past them and see that they have twice as much as you have, but we doing the same thing. And you got to look at that. And then you got to get up on these cameras and you say, no, I'm tired. And that's what we witnessed from Taraji. We witnessed, can't take no more.
Yeah. I
can't. And that was relatable.
Yeah.
That was somebody who has this and I do want to say she was able to do also what Billy Porter couldn't do, because if you want to throw it all in the conversation, you got to throw in Billy Porter. Billy Porter came out during the strike and told us that he lost his house, but it didn't resonate, right? Why? Because of the messaging. No matter how much of a discrepancy that there is in this industry, we people like you and I still view it as, okay, but I wish somebody would give me $20,000.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? So there is already a pedestal that you're speaking from when you're trying to get the masses.
I see. Yeah.
On your side. Taraji was able to do that. And Zora Neale Hurston said, the ones that got it can't hide it.
Taraji gave us her, and I hate to say that she had to give us, I don't want it to feel like, because sometimes it feels like Black women have to give their pain for them to be able to be heard.
Open.
Like on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills last season, when Garcelle had to actually physically break down and cry, and then they wanted to put their arms around her and say, now we get what you're saying.
Like the English changed from
the wording, the meaning of it changed. Right. But there was something so authentic, like you're saying, about Taraji. Men could even relate to that. So just like you said, the way you packaged it, you ever been so tired of going to a job, even if you love it, that's asking for more and more, and you look over and your coworker who doesn't look anything like you probably don't even have the experience you have. As a matter of fact, you may be on one of those jobs that I used to be on, where I had to train. I was a supervisor, and I had to train my incoming manager. And then the HR person that hired the incoming manager pulled me into her office and said, listen, you need to tell him that you need to take over his floor for 30 days because I know you could turn it around. To which I had to say, with all due respect, you would have hired me if you wanted me for that job. So you're looking at that and you just get tired. Yeah, you heard me. The HR manager had me training my new customer care manager, and then pulled me.
Know if we work together, because at one point they done called me into the office and said, "Listen, the people up under you, they don't like you, so we gonna fire you. Even though we hired you to get them in shape, and now that you're getting them in shape, they don't like you, so we're gonna hire you. We're gonna fire you. But we have not even started the process of interviewing your replacement, so we're gonna ask you to hold on until we find the replacement.
Shut up.
They ask you to train said replacement."
And then we're going to fire you. Okay, yeah, that's worse than mine. I felt like you hire someone, then HR calls me into their office and says, listen, I need you to, I'm just going to say his name. I need you to tell Kevin that you need to take over his floor for 30 days. I need you to ask Kevin, can you take over his floor, meaning his department, for 30 days? Because I know you can turn it around. You hired him. You didn't promote me. I'm training him, and I'm supposed to go to him and tell him that I need to take. So you want me to do the job without the pay and the title? And let's be clear, there's a lot of people that say, I don't need a title. I don't need a title. In the corporate world, we know titles come with money. Come on, let's just call it. I was about to say,
I know I don't need the title, but I need the check that come with it.
So if it comes with it. So Yeah, it's interesting how those corporate jobs work. So Taraji giving us what she gave exactly that. Y'all, I'm just tired. And I know I'm supposed to be
Tired.
here promoting this movie, but the weight of it is so heavy. So I agree with you. And like with Jamie, I don't think that Taraji has to now give a speech to say that.
Mm-mm.
I was
Unless they're
really
gonna pay
listening.
her for it.
Thank you. I was because I had not thought about that conversation. But like I said, when Jamie did her video, again, Jamie, that's me. And she had this conversation. I was like, I agree with Jamie. And this is a good conversation to have because
It
people
is.
people, and I have no, when she said that, I started paying attention to different comments and people are continuing. Monique has been trying to tell us. Monique has been trying to tell us. And I don't even think Monique came off angry because some people are saying Monique. I don't think Monique came
I
off
don't think she
angry,
came off angry.
but there was a demeanor. Sometimes Monique can't, to me, not all the time, but to me, come off with a demeanor that makes it seem as if you don't get what I'm saying, you're stupid, beloved. Sort of
Oh, see, baby,
condescending.
you
Yeah.
don't, nobody ever learned you that. That's
And to
crazy.
me, one thing I can say is as bold as people, and I know you get the same thing, as bold as people
Me
think we are,
experiencing boldness of people? Never.
as bold as people think we are. I think people have a tendency to think that we may never get nervous or we may not have anxious moments. And I can't tell you the amount of times that I've had those moments when my husband is there, like even doing Kempire's live show.
Oh
Sometimes I know I
yeah.
love to do it. I used to perform
The
poetry.
one that you didn't tell me
I
about.
lo-
Oh yeah, no, we
so
podcasting, babe.
let's talk about it.
Mm.
All right, no, we're
Let's
gonna
get
get back to
into
that. Let
it.
me tell this story. We're gonna get back to that. Why? Because maybe the people listening and watching can relate. But knowing that he was in the audience gave me this strength. I didn't need him to speak for me.
Come on,
And
somebody.
I do believe that there are times when your man can step up and say, but his very presence is like
Mm.
calming to me. So I don't need him to get on an Instagram live and speak for me. If he did speak, he would just be adding to the
Clock it.
message that I've already put out there or adding a perspective, but I don't need him to speak for me. So, Monique, when she says that I pray all black, like the people that look at it weird have never experienced love. One thing I can tell you in my 22 years of marriage, in my personal 22 years, I know what it's like to experience real support, real love,
Come
the
on.
only person that sees you in your anxious moments because everybody else thinks that you got it all
Come
together.
on.
The only person that can hug you and literally I've told him before, I used to tell him years ago, sometimes I want you to be Superman. And by Superman, I don't mean fix it. I mean, when Lois was in trouble, if she looked up to the sky, Superman would come and pick her up and just take her away from it. I don't need you to solve my
I
problems,
don't need you
but
to
I just
solve
need a
it.
safe place where I can be away from it for a minute.
I don't need you to
And
solve it. And I don't need you to spitball possible
thank
solutions
you.
at me.
Thank you. I
Pick
just
me up
need
in
you
the
to be a
mighty
safe space
arms.
because I know that you won't drop me, even in the midst of all this chaos, buildings, you watch Superman, buildings on fire, buildings collapsing. He's holding Lois and they're going through it together. That's it. So he
My
has
God,
become that
get
for
you
me.
a Clark Kent.
Get you. Come on. We don't need a Sydney. Get you a Clark Kent who can turn into Superman.
Please, and
Okay.
if you meet Uncle Sid, please run.
Listen. So it just, it really, it's one thing to say, I hope women out there experience true love, but to say that their true love has to look like yours can be a very dangerous
It's
message.
so dangerous. What did when Tabitha sent that fatal shot to Wendy, she
Wendy
said,
Williams,
I pray true love finds you and hold you tight. And I've never identified because I think we've had this conversation, but I always say to people, even if it's like not a good interaction, like have the day that you deserve, whatever that
yes,
looks like
we
for
talked
you.
about that. Yes,
I hope that you have the day that you
yes.
deserve. But when she said, I pray that love finds you and holds you tight, not the love that I found, right? Not Chance. She said, don't find Chance and let him hold you. And that clearly that Kevin man didn't work out for you. But I pray that you find what you consider love. And I pray that it holds you tight and it makes you feel comfortable. And whatever that is, listen, it don't have to float my boat. It just gotta not sink yours.
Exactly. Speaking of now, and we need to get back to something. We need to handle some business. Elle said I didn't tell her about the show. So here's what I do have a hard time in doing
What about
that I
your
need to do more of. When
friend?
my friends are doing something, I want them to tell me, y'all better text me, even if I can't come. I will literally set my alarm clock. So if Elle said I'm doing a show at 8 o'clock, I'm setting my alarm at 8 p.m. and I'm saying a prayer of covering, just a prayer specific to whatever she's doing to send her in. One of my girlfriend's family members just had surgery. So the day before, 24 hours before, three times that day, we prayed the same prayer and spoke the same prayer over that. So those kinds of things, right? But then if I could be there, I'll be there. But when it comes to me, I have found in the past sometimes that people may not show up even in that way. So instead of risking disappointment,
come on, friend PTSD.
instead of risking being disappointed, you'll just find out about it after it happens. And that's how I feel. It's
so you
one
didn't
thing.
tell me all of that. You told me that you were bad at it, and I identified with that.
Yeah, I'm bad at that too. Yeah, right. I didn't even get into the whole thing because I feel like I'm not going to get in. Not even rehashing trauma. It's just that's just how I'm like. They're not going to show. They may not show up. So instead of me telling them about it, they'll see that I did it. And sometimes you take the scripture, let the works I've done speak for me. See, this is what I did instead of.
Yeah, sometimes we be taking that thing too literally.
Yeah. So I didn't tell you because I know you would have been on 95.
Baby, what? When I told you though, I understood. For me, I struggle with like bragging on myself. So everybody will be like, "Oh, you should pop your shit more. You should da 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 da." Like this is funny. Even the other day, my birthday, matter of fact, I was in the mall.
Yes, y'all. Y'all say happy birthday to Elle, please. Elle.
Thank you.
She was almost an Aries. Too bad. Go ahead.
But God, amen.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Speaking to the captain of the Aries team right here. Jesus. 4-4.
I love you down, baby, but I don't. Y'all Aries is a little rowdy for me, and I'm a Pisces, Scorpio, baby. I'm gonna burn it up. But y'all Aries, I be like, that's crazy.
I feel like my friends who aren't Aries will say to me, if a situation happens to me, it couldn't be me. And at first, they kind of take it like, oh, I would have done. No, see, I know what lives deep down and that I battle with and pray to God for every single day. So what you perceive as, oh, it couldn't be me. Oh, I would have done this.
You better speak on it.
I know what I am capable of doing. I know that the person that caught me on the wrong day and cut me off, and I looked at my water bottle and had it in my hand and envisioned rolling down the window and busting the whole back window of their car out because you thought, not only did you think you were going to cut me off, then you stopped and want to roll down your window and say something to me. And then when I go to say something, you pull off. So I would rather not live in those spaces. So when people say it couldn't be you, you're right. It couldn't be you because God has brought me a mighty long way.
Mighty long way. No tie tribute. Amen.
So I don't want to burn anybody up in my fire. Because I want my fire. If my fire comes out, I want it to consume you and burn you. And I just rather not.
I'm Poseidon. Baby, I will drown you. It ain't nothing but water in this chart, baby.
Did you say Poseidon?
I'm a turn you every which way but loose. She'll be down there with the Titanic. Okay. They'll be writing stories about you years and years later. All right. And I don't want to do that. I just don't. And also, for me, reading the 4 agreements really helped.
But yes, we've talked about this.
Learn and internalize. It's not about you. And again, that doesn't mean that you don't have no accountability in the situation. It don't mean none of that. But when you realize what projecting really is, ooh, sometimes it don't even hit you like somebody, it might hit somebody else. So they be like, oh, couldn't have been me. And you like, fight with that.
Right. Like,
it would be like, and also when you realize sometimes And my husband just had to, I was mad about something this week and he just had to remind me about it. Sometimes the calling is to do. That's it.
Mm.
Not for somebody else to do in return, not for you to be praised, not for it to be talked about for years and years to come, right? Sometimes the action is to do whatever that is.
Mm.
And because as humans, and even like the indoctrination of church, given it shall be given unto you.
To you. Right.
Right.
Mm.
But there is a comma after that give. That means pause. That means
yes.
there that you know what I'm saying? So it's like you get so caught up in that space sometimes that you're just like, and then you for it because that was all about you. You was speaking in projections. You was because it never gave ugly over here, right?
Right.
It never gave content created that all of them comments that be over there. You just be over here bumping your gums. It never gave nothing you talking about, love.
Right. Give and like this, like you said, this because we've been indoctrinated in it so much so that that becomes your whole reason for giving instead of the purity of doing and giving. Because not because I'm gonna do this.
But because you want that pressed down, shaken together, and runneth over. That's what you gave for. Let's not act.
I'm a believer. Some people aren't, some people are. So it's, to me, and I never would beat what I believe. I believe the way you show people who you believe in is the lifestyle that you live. And that doesn't mean
1,000%.
I don't live off of nobody's perfect as an excuse to do things that I'm not satisfied with. Therefore, the person that I believe in may not be satisfied with. You know what I mean? We make mistakes. I get it.
Prove that God is good.
Yes.
Let what you witness out of me prove that blessings happen.
Whether it's my spirit,
what you hear me speak,
say it
to you that my tongue has power. You feel what I'm saying?
Let me tell you, Joyce Meyer, I'm sure you've heard it. For those of you who don't know, Joyce Meyer is I would call it a motivational speaker, a preacher, what have you. And she told this story about how
goddess.
Yes, she would go to this nail shop and they all loved her because she's Joyce Meyer. And one of the nail people liked a pen that she had. And so she said in that moment, she heard God speak to her and say, give her the pen. And she said in her mind, her immediate thought was, there's not enough people in here to witness this. I'm going to wait till I come back and that the shop is packed. And she said she kept hearing, give it to her now. So she said she waited. 2 weeks went by. The shop was packed. She gave it to her and everybody was, oh. And she said she heard God speak to her and say, and I hope something like, I hope you find comfort in that because that's your blessing, you getting all these people. Because basically you're not going to get no more from me because that's not when I told you to give it. You gave it because you wanted the praise and the people outside. Oh, Joyce, when you could have just given it to her when there were 2 or 3 people in the shop and it would have meant, even though it still meant something to her, the person on the receiving end, but that's not what I told you.
No, I needed you now. You said that you were going to be a vessel. I asked you to be that vessel in this moment. And see, the thing about vesselship is,
say it.
We, like Joy said, we don't get to decide who sees us being a blessing. We don't get to decide where and when we are vessels. We don't get to decide what. When that voice say, give it away. Listen, I have, I keep my crystal bracelets on me. I have given away crystal bracelets that I can't get back. Get back because the instruction was to give it. Right. And because we never know what other people are going through and who they are and how they will serve in our story along the way. Some of it I've seen return back to me just through somebody being like, yo, this is what you gave me. Or I'll see bracelets that I've given away 4 or 5 years ago and I'll see somebody on Instagram still wearing them. You know what I mean? So just moments like that, or it'll be through a DM.
Yeah. It should, you never know the type of the content that we create, whether we're talking about this, whether we're talking about GNA, aka Giselle and Ashley's workout clothes being more leisure than athletic and possibly giving you a yeast infection, according to Candace. We just don't know sometimes the laughter helps lift people out of dark spaces. And that's what we have to remember. Everybody is not here.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes there are podcasts that I listen to just because I know I'm going to get what I need for that moment, meaning laughter out of it. I don't necessarily need a word. I need laughter. And so when I start getting caught up in what am I giving people? What, you hear the same opinion 19 times. What am I really giving people? You just still have to do if you feel that's what you are called to do.
You hit the nail on the head with that one, because that content sometimes if it be feeling like, well, what I need to put a video about. Scroll, especially when you hit a topic when the news really be newsing,
girl,
and you'll hit a topic and it be like Empire, Bravo, Snark Side, like, and Giorgio says, and they just
sorry, you mentioned, I'm sorry, I have to take a selfish moment. You mentioned me with some of the greats. Wow. Okay, go ahead.
Girl, them your friends. I see. I already them your people. Now we up in the big leagues.
You know what? Good night. Good.
You up with the Empire now. What?
Can I tell you something? Talk about obedience and time. And I know people listening and watching have heard this story before, but in case there's somebody who hasn't, I just want to take it all the way back to BravoCon real quick. So basically, people that listen know that one of my supporters, shout out to Jill, I love you so much, sponsored me to go to BravoCon. When she told me, I immediately
Jill. No, I'm joking. Right?
Jill, so BravoCon 2024. So
no.
I wasn't gonna go. And I was telling Corey, I'm not going. I can't, I'm not gonna stop making money for those days. I'm not going because people kept saying it'll be a great opportunity for the podcast. And in my mind, I kept saying, what if it's not a great opportunity? What if I go there? And because people were like, oh, you can meet this person and maybe set up an interview with this person. And in my mind, I thought, well, what if I go there
and pop-up shop?
And not to sound like but what if I go there and I'm just a attendee and nothing happens? Then it's just a waste. That's how I felt, because I said I'm not going to pay to see people that I've reached out to. Some I've interviewed, so I'm not going to pay. So I need something to happen, right? I'm going to keep it. So I'm not going to go. I talked to my mom. So it was my mom, Corey, and my boo, Donnie. Shout out to Donnie. And
hey, Donnie.
They talked me through it. And really, why? And I realized that it was like imposter syndrome. Like, felt like I didn't deserve to be there. And I say that to say, fast forward, and I get to open a show for Kempire. Now, let me tell you, days before I found out I was going to BravoCon, about 2 weeks prior, I reached out to Kempire to come. I had been wanting to reach out to him, and I sent him an email, and he responded and said he'd be on. He comes on. He talks about him going to BravoCon. I didn't know I was going. Days later, I find out. I get to BravoCon by myself. My first day, I go to charge my phone. I look over. We lock eyes, him and we spent the rest of the weekend together. Had I not gone, twin, where have you been? But I say that to say, what if I had not gone? And he's been very encouraging in terms of the podcast and all of that. And just, if I have questions or anything, but if I had not gone and let me feeling like I didn't belong there stop me from going, I was handed. And here's the thing, y'all, when y'all get y'all blessing, when y'all pray for something or y'all feel like you deserve something, don't try to figure out how it's coming. In my mind, me going to BravoCon would have never came that way. I was looking for it from a totally different way. I would have passed that up, would have never met Kempire in person. We talked on the podcast, but it's different in person, connecting, hanging out, having that experience. Me being there when Caroline Stansberry, makeup artist, came up and attacked him, like all of that craziness. And now I feel like I have
then to be hosting the show in the cat suit.
Huh? So I say that to say two things. Don't let fear talk you out of going. I used to tell my kids, it's okay to be afraid, but do it afraid. And then I had to take my own advice. That was number one. And number two, don't try to manage how the thing that you pray for is going to come. Be open to it coming in a way that you never expected.
See, I'm a micromanager, so I have to put my hands on everything. I got to touch it all. But one thing that I found that works for me is similar to what you said, but like letting go, right? So if a situation that I am stressed over, in my prayers, I will literally verbalize, like, I'm letting it go.
Yes.
Right? And we know that God is no magician, excuse me. But in my experience, that thing get worked out within the 24-hour mark. And it be worked out so bad to the point where it'd be like, wow, it's stressing.
Girl,
They was
barely
dumb.
breathing. Wanting to tear
because you was
up.
there. You know me. You know me personally.
Wasn't like that Diana Ross meme where she got the lipstick on the mirror.
Bro, like that. You hear me? Stressing. Not that hair trying to attack me.
And I want to say that I want to send that message directly to Giselle and Ashley. No matter what anybody says about that clothing line, you just keep going. Because I have a lot to say, and I'm just going to be honest and keep it real.
And you know what? And unlike Taria, I want to say, don't be afraid to stop. Amen. Don't feel like you have went so far down that road that God won't refill your gas tank if you U-turn. Amen.
Well, now that was good. Say that again. If you pivot,
you caught that,
shout
right?
out to Richie. He talks about pivoting. Yes, you say that again. Say it again. I like that.
Don't be afraid. Don't be so afraid that you don't went so far down the wrong path that God won't refill your gas tank when you U-turn. And I believe, my God, on tonight, that He will refill your gas tank tenfold if you just step away from making clothes. He ain't called me personally and said that. I just feel it.
You felt it in your spirit.
In my shanana. I felt it.
Okay. I like. Ooh, I like it. Oh yeah.
Oh, I like.
If you like what you see, do you remember that song? No, you don't. Delight.
Nope, I was going with.
You better put a hold on it. For all y'all 40s and over, tell me y'all know that. If you like, get with the program. What you see, get with the program. Delight.
You don't know.
You know, black people don't know. I'm one of those. What? I knew one bar of a song, Big L. I can't even remember who that's from. You think I know who sings this? Okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The song I was singing was Guy. I don't know if I should tell y'all that with my whole chest.
Oh, Guy.
I support Aaron Hall. I like.
Yes. I like.
Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry. You took me back. All right.
That's my drink.
Speaking of Potomac,
we were talking.
If y'all have not, see how soon we forget. If you don't follow Elle on Instagram, please go and follow her expeditiously as she gives her thoughts on it. So I believe if I were to recap your video, you were getting ready to get on the Peloton, and normally which by the way, we need to follow each other on the Peloton and do rides together also.
We're gonna do a Bravo Girls Who Bike.
I was getting ready to say, no,
because Philly Diva got a bike too.
And my boo Raven from Bitches Better has a bike.
I know that page. I didn't know her name though.
Yes,
I love that.
She has a bike. So I've been saying that, like, black girls who bike, or black Bravo girls who bike. And it don't just have to be black, but immediately, of course, you think of what whatever.
Bravo biking bitches.
Child just heard a noise in my house, and I was come slam.
Hello. Anything that's not here in the name of Jesus, command you to leave right now.
Wait, like Simone told Cecil, come out. Come out, child, because I'm sorry, now I'm just gonna say this. Black folks could kill first in the movies and sometimes in real life. I wasn't gonna look around. I would have been straight out the window. It's only a little bit down to hit that pavement. Girl,
leave it too. And don't leave me on camera with it.
Girl, I would make sure I grab the MacBook and just went down. No, I need you here so you can call 911. Someone please call 911. Okay.
Gotcha. Oh, yeah.
Your thoughts on the season overall?
My thoughts on the season are: remember when you was in school?
Here we go.
And you had a little project that you had to do, right? And you ain't do that project in time. but you knew you had pushed your mother to the end. You couldn't tell her that you had another late project.
Stop it. I know what you get.
So you just do something, right? It don't get no eyes on it. Nobody approves it before it leaves the house, and then you go turn it in, right? Ain't nobody seen this project that you done, but you and Jesus and now the teacher. That's how I feel about this season of Potomac. Nobody saw it. Nobody saw it but the editor. Okay. That's the only person. It went from the editor's desk straight to whatever they used to upload it to the television. Okay. None of them execs saw it. None of the higher ups at production saw it. And I know you thinking to yourself, like, well, how could the show be out if nobody saw it? And to that, I say, but how would the show be out if somebody saw it? Right. You've done 7 seasons of never this, and then now you do this. It wasn't approved. It wasn't. And so because it was not approved, it's not a real season. So from now on going forward, when I talk about Potomac, I will talk about 1 through 7 and then 9. 8 didn't happen. It's not real. I won't talk about things that didn't get approval. No exec at NBCU signed off on that.
The only evidence we need to show that this is not a real season and maybe not even real people is Mia saying that she had an inheritance and that Gordon drained her bank accounts, when in a previous season she said she basically got with him for his money. He was spending tens of thousands of dollars a night. Ma'am.
The man drained the bank account of the woman whose car he had to co-sign on before he was her woman. Please say things to me that make sense. This how I know it didn't get approved, because if it got approved, they would have said, didn't we uncast her? The liar girl. Ain't nobody asked her back. How y'all sneak her in there?
Listen, right. And
nobody knew.
Hasn't she said stuff contrary? Like, I'm tell me something I don't understand. How you could just not kill a man, kill a season of a show. Or a show in one season. I am just sad because these are our Black girls, and I'm showing up for the Black shows. I am. Just like if I'm showing up for the right ones, right? I love when I can turn on the TV and see Black girls who look like me, right? Well, I mean, most of them. Well, maybe not Potomac, maybe Atlanta, but you know what I mean.
You get the drift.
You get the drift. I'm going to support our Black women. And then to see this, it's disappointing, to say the least. I thought that this was the last episode of the season, and I got happy. And evidently there's another one. They're not going to show the fight, but I will say this. It's disappointing that this episode.
There's more?
Yeah, because it was a to be continued. This episode, I wonder if it was the highest rated episode because it's a fight episode. Yeah, it's a to be continued.
The way that the mark is being missed, first of all, when we met these girls on Potomac was supposed to be high class. So to be high class and then
classy based, huh?
To be in Austin across the street from the renovations.
And not with chickens pooping on a bingo card. I will never forgive them for that.
Thank you. You didn't go to Austin you didn't go show me classy Austin life. You went and did something that my little cousin and her friends could do when they go on a trip. And for that, I don't like you. Number 2. What the fuck was the season? Like, it's just such a waste. You've got Charisse, who is bringing us nothing, but let's not act like we haven't seen that she's capable of bringing us something.
Right.
If I was Charisse, I wouldn't bring something to this sinking ship either. Clearly,
she tried. She tried at her crab boil with the white bottom of crabs, and I don't even eat seafood and know better than that. I grew up in Jersey, and where the family, they go and they get the crab, they go, it's called crabbing, right? And then they get them and they put them live in the buckets and then they bring them home, and then you hear them in the pot, but there's seasoning in the pot and you hear them trying to get out. And I remember one time one got out and they got it. But so I don't know what that was, what she was doing, but she tried to give something. She tried. You cannot have a cast of people that are unwilling to work together, period. The end.
Charisse did not try. And let me tell you how I know.
She started screaming and hollering. She thought she was bringing something.
Charisse first of all, and this is what pisses me off about whoever this new person named Sharice is on the screen.
Okay.
You are supposed to come and give me, y'all bitches wouldn't be here if it wasn't for me energy.
Got you. So y'all need to get it together.
You were supposed to come with, I was that girl before the divorce, and I was that girl once the alimony check cleared. That's the Sharice you're supposed to give. Shit, right. You talking about you launching a Champagne Rule podcast, and I ain't seen you drink champagne all season. What's your favorite brand? We don't know you because you have not marketed yourself in adjacency to champagne. You just think that us, the Bravo lovers, is gonna support you because you on the show with the polyester shirt and the lace front from Swiss Lace.
Did you say lace front? I beg to differ if it was lace. More like, I'm sorry.
Oh, you don't know what that butter lace is. I'm gonna send you that Swiss lace when we get off. Because it's what's on her head.
It looks like she picked it up from, I'm not even being funny, but just like a sort of shake and go type thing. Okay.
It's giving you drank all the alimony. You did not try. If Sharice tried, her event would have looked better than Candace's Mother's Day event. That's trying on a show called Potomac.
Right. Because Candace's Mother's Day event was beautiful. Something, I mean, at least give us something to look at.
Marisol threw a shindig in the backyard next to her pool house that she filmed.
Come on.
Because she don't let y'all in her real house because she's not a real cast member. And gave them girls a full shopping experience and an ice sculpture in Miami and asked them for $0. That's trying.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, there's Potomac is just not. Oh, it's just not. It's just not. I do want to say this quick caveat. People are people people have their own reasons why they resonate and don't resonate with a cast member or like or dislike. And people have talked about Wendy tried the candle. She tried this. She tried that. I am glad. I want these women to use this platform to try whatever they want. Be authentic in it though, right? But let's not forget that Robin also, we're now watching her launch her 4th or 5th business. She had the spa. Before that, she had the hats. Before that, she had the real estate. She was flipping houses. And before that, her and Giselle went and looked at tractor trailer trucks. Because remember, she was getting ready to do a trucking business. So while we're getting on Wendy, Robin has also tried different things almost every season as well. Let's not forget that.
This is why they hate Candace, okay? And like, honestly, y'all just stay with me.
Okay.
I know it's getting ready to be.
I'm in the car with the seatbelt on.
Trust the process.
I'm going to trust it.
All of these housewives could take a marketing class from Bethany Frankel. Okay.
I don't care for her, but you're 100% right.
Neither do I. I just have to give credit where credit is.
Yes, you're right.
The thing that Bethany had going for her is that skinny girl and Bethany have always gone together. We met Bethany with skinny girl, and then she turned it into something. The issue that we see with Karen, who says that LaDame is in, I think she said
Bloomingdale's.
Baby, I be in Bloomingdale's, okay? I got a shopper right now and pull it up on my phone. Me, Bloomingdale's, in that motherfucker, okay? I never seen no me, perfume, in there, okay? I ain't never seen no LaDame and no perfume counter. I promise you.
Send me something from Bloomingdale's. Let me send you. You should, if you don't have my address,
I got you.
Send me like a MAC lip pencil or something. All right, go ahead.
I'm gonna say just anything. Just go into Bloomingdale's. And my Bloomingdale's got an espresso bar, so I really be in there. I've never seen no LaDame, right? But before there was LaDame, remember Karen was giving us wigs.
Yes.
We had the candles. All of these women are trying to launch something, because they acknowledge the marketing platform that they're on. Every housewife says that you can't buy better marketing than that.
And they're smart to do that.
However, number one, us as viewers, we ain't your paycheck, baby girl. You need to go negotiate a good contract from Bravo and sell me a $14.99 candle like the ones that be up in Home Goods, okay? Because that's what I'm looking to replace. I'm looking to buy your candle in lieu of the D&W candles that I get. I don't
Because
watch
I
it
almost
until
bought one
Halloween.
of Wendy's candles, but I just couldn't bring myself to spend $50 on it. I couldn't.
I am so petty and innovative that I created not Wendy's $50 candles. The
I need you to
season that
hold
these
that.
came out,
Hold it again. Wendy's. Goodbye.
it says Wendy's not $50 candle. Okay. Because I care about the people. I sold them that season and the people brought them. You know why? Because nobody's buying a $50 candle. So it's like, I want these women to stop using us as their paychecks. Find you something that all of these housewives need to go do what they tell content creators to do. Go in your house, find something that you buy every month, something that you actually spend your coins on. Hitch your cart to that wagon, make yourself synonymous with that thing, turn around, market it, sell it to us. Okay. Ashley, I want yoga gear. I don't want you teamed up with Giselle.
I was shocked. I would think yoga mats.
I want you teaching virtual yoga classes. I want you doing what that girl from the last season of Love is Blind did. What's her name? Raven, who has the African dude. Her. Go do the Pilates like her, right? Karen, I really wanted Karen to get her wig line together. I thought that was good. And the meme that I wanted her to use when she was marketing it was from that soccer outing when Candace didn't have no napkins and her wig was slipping. Because you'll never have to worry about that again with the Karen Huger wig. You see where I'm going?
Non-slip wigs, yes.
Wendy, she over here doing a talk show. And let me get on my soapbox about Wendy, because I'm going to say it. Wendy doing a talk show, interviewing people and ain't doing no background research. Again, she just hoping that the views is going to come because people watch Real Housewives of Atlanta. That girl got up on that screen and interviewed Latavia Robinson and knew now zip about Destiny's Child.
Really?
If I'm lying, I'm flying. I called Latavia's manager. I said, why y'all give her that interview if she ain't know nothing? I sure did. Because
what was the response?
It's a housewife. I'm not even going to do him like that. But I did make the phone call.
Okay.
I did make the phone call because.
Come on, calling managers.
Wendy, yes. Wendy with her talk show, whether she wants to acknowledge it or not. And Candace, I love you down boots, girl. But we caught that content creator shade on that one episode. I think it was episode 12. When you didn't know what your husband was and you couldn't get the word influencer and content creator together, it was clocked, but not too much. Anyway, Wendy stepping into the YouTube world is her stepping into content creator world, right?
And they just don't want to say that.
There are people on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram who get to it every single day. Mm-hmm. There are people who can run you down housewife facts, Destiny Child facts, whatever. You can find whatever your lane is, you can go find somebody. And they might not have the numbers that Wendy has because she's on this nationally syndicated show, but I guarantee you that they can pull something out of that person. Yes. That's somebody who has no knowledge. You didn't even know how old the girls was when Destiny Child started. You didn't know that they was in a group called Girls Time.
Which to me goes to show that, for instance, in this episode, she had the drink. When I tell you, she had a lineup. She had the ladies on her show. It was like almost, they all sat couched out. April Ryan, Jasmine from the Jasmine brand. And they were talking about things that she knew about and cared enough about, which goes back to content creating. I've had the conversation. My numbers could look different if I would just have random Bravo people on, even housewives. But my heart is not in having them on just because they're on a platform. There has to be something that I'm drawn to. I just can't. And for other podcasts or YouTubes that do that, I think it's great because I enjoy watching them on that. But for me, my soul won't let me just have anybody on.
Because it's still a version of a money grab, right? Wendy's not asking you for any money, but she's commanding your time. Yeah. She's putting out an hour-long interview. She's saying, hey, come over here and look at it. As we all are. There's no fault to that. That's what we're all saying.
Yeah. But at least know your subject. At least know who you're. I mean, even as
something that makes sense to the brand.
Yes.
We met you as a political commentator. That's bitches like you call me Dr. Wendy. Okay. Give me some poli-sci content. You need to be on your little YouTube channel. This is election season. Break it down, doctor.
And even if she wanted to merge the two, if you truly have a love for pop culture and for that, there's a way to merge the two. We've done it today. We maybe haven't talked politics, but we've talked other real life stuff. So there's a way to merge it all if you love it all.
But no, instead you come over here with your big nationally syndicated shoes and you stomp on the craft. Honestly, you stomp on the craft, you stomp on the opportunities, right? Because if people are booked for Wendy and for this person and for that person, how many micro influencer podcasts are they doing?
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say it would be nice to see some of the girls that talk about specifically Black women supporting Black women come on over to the Black women that are reaching out to them to talk about such things, but they go to the white men podcast. But that's another.
But our girl,
subject.
Ebony K. Williams,
she's
Ebony 10 toes on what she be talking about.
I will continue to say our sis Ebony. I don't care what people thought about her, but personally in real life, she is that the same girl. Ebony that we saw on the show where people kept saying she's trying, she's teaching. That's the same Ebony in real life. We could call Ebony today and say, girl, what you think about that episode? And by the time we get off the phone, we will have gotten kikied about the episode, but also probably learned about a new policy or something put into place that we didn't know about, because that is Ebony. 100%.
Also,
Ebony
another
is the
great
real deal.
example of she merged the law and the pop culture.
Yes. And I'm going to continue every time she's named to shout out this. In this space, I have had different people. I will help you. Who do you want to interview? Oh, I will help you. Oh, do you want to get on a network? Let me help you. But then it's always oh, I'm busy. Ebony Williams was on a TV show. She now has her judge show. She's doing big things, had her own podcast, and still let me know anytime you want to talk about your platform and how to grow it and want some ideas, call me. I'm available. So to me,
and we'll answer a DM, we'll respond, like there's action behind it. Another person might be unpopular, but another person who's staying 10 toes, what they be talking about? Buffy. Buffy.
I have my feelings about her, but one thing I will say is I do believe, as a woman in this content creation space and as a Black woman, if you reach out to her, she's going to come back with knowledge and information and not try to charge you for it.
Yes.
And I respect that about her. That's funny because I've been rolling her around in my head.
I love Auntie Buffy. Y'all know me. I've been Buffy down since the beginning, but then I interviewed her. She was like one of my last for 2023. When the red light was on, when it was off, she was given the same thing.
And that's what I
number and was like, if you have any questions, if you need anything, reach out.
See, and I think people don't get to see that side. And that's why I learned from B. Scott a long time ago on their podcast. They talked about Mariah Carey. And I've said this before and I'll say it again. And I think this is one of the most honest things a content creator can say, or a person in the entertainment field can say when you're doing podcasting and commenting on pop culture and you want to try to form an unbiased opinion. Before they interviewed Mariah Carey, they loved her. They were on Twitter, well, X, but formerly known as Twitter. And basically Nick Cannon put the interview together. They met, they built a relationship. So B said, I'm going to tell you up front, B would break the exclusive, even though they would try to say page 6 and all them, it would be B that broke the exclusives.
But B break it down just like Wendy. Listen. I'm going to talk about this news.
So, because B was the one that actually broke the Portia getting her peaches cobbled with Cynthia's bachelorette, but they gave it to page 6 and act like it. Nah, B broke that. B was the one that broke the exclusive that Fallon was actually out here dipping and doing with Jalen, but anyway.
I knew that one. I didn't know the first one.
So B said, especially talking about the Real Housewives of Atlanta, I give y'all the exclusives, but I'm going to be upfront with y'all. Mariah Carey is my sister now. That's my friend. That's my sister. So what you ain't never going to do is come over to this platform. I don't care if rumors are out there about her. I'm never commenting on them because that is my sister. And I'm telling y'all up front, basically, so don't look for it. I respected that versus them trying to dance around the subject or making excuses for the rumors. Y'all, I'm just not addressing rumors about my sister because that is now my friend.
Sister.
I appreciate that aspect. And also, or you tell your friend, check this out. You know, I do pop culture commentary. I'm going to have to comment on it and that be that. But that's one thing I learned.
When any housewife that I've ever spoken to, they all know I approached this with the understanding that y'all are human beings, right? That means that there's a certain level of low that I'm not going to go, right?
Exactly.
I also approach it with the idea that y'all are entertainers. So I'm going to speak about the things that happen on the show. If I like them, I'm going to tell you I like them. If I don't like them, I'm going to tell you I don't like them. I'm going to tell you why. You feel what I'm saying? The only promise that I'm making you is that I'm not digging into your personal finances. I'm not reverse searching, I don't care nothing about images. That. I'm not finding what county you live in, going to the county office, putting your name into the thing, getting the book number, finding your deeds. I'm trying to tell you I know what I'm doing. Find the deeds, finding, seeing if there's a pre-foreclosure. And I'm not doing that. I won't. But don't push. No, I'm just kidding.
Don't come out talking about bloggers and podcasters as if it's a bad thing when most of y'all housewives have started a YouTube, a podcast, or what have you.
But shout out to the ones that are like good people. Because in this podcasting space, you know, we probably all have those moments where it's like, I shouldn't have never met my hero. That's crazy. But for the most part, overall, it's been good experiences. And I've ran into a bunch of housewives who understand, baby, I put my pants on one leg at a time. I haven't ran into the housewife yet who was like, and you don't know who I am?
Yeah. Like, come on now. Which is why I don't hate watch. People say hate watch, but to me, I'm very true to my feelings, or I know I can have a feeling about a housewife, and I'm going to say it. Every housewife I've had a feeling about has proven one way or the other to come out to be true, especially some of the ones when it comes to racial conversations. Us Black folks have talked about it. Us Black content creators offline have talked about it. Then it's come out online and we're like, yeah, we told y'all.
Billy, we're talking about you, Billy.
Say it one more time.
Young and the Restless.
Say it one more time so the people in the back can hear you.
Lisa Rinna. What do I care? Guys? She done blocked me.
So we know these things, you know, so we're just trying our best over here to provide entertainment. My goal is for people to come over here, laugh, have a good time, and possibly walk away learning something that they haven't known before. And if not, at least walking away, even if they walk away saying, I don't agree with nothing she said because I've created some sort of emotion in you. Versus my boo, D. Brooke Ashley always says, I don't care if you disagree with me. I would rather you disagree or dislike something I said than have no feeling about it at all. Because then that means I've done nothing pretty much. And I'm like, you know what? That is true. You want people to like your content, of course. But then you have the ones, I always say that I'm open to conversation, but you can't have open conversation if you want to run to my reviews and write your thoughts without giving me an opportunity to speak back to you.
Don't type if you haven't watched the whole thing. If it's 1 minute and 34 seconds, you may start typing at the 35th. Okay. Anything
like, come on, man.
Like null and void.
Yeah. I've had people say some of the wildest things. We know you hate so-and-so. We know you. Child, I've never said I hated anybody on this podcast. I don't hate nobody.
These people told me I have no daddy. Okay. Imagine me, little old suburbia girl, parents been married over 30 years. The people, you just mad because you ain't got no daddy. I don't know nothing about it.
Girl, somebody had DM'd me and said, what it looks like when you've been around, what it looks like when you've not identified or something. I'm paraphrasing, basically with Blackness your whole life, go to college, find Blackness and are proud, and then start a podcast. Huh? Girl, I went to a majority white elementary school, but outside of that, the surroundings around me were black. So let me tell you how much I was reminded that I was black every day with them
every
white
day.
people that I went to school with. Okay.
But
And then,
you can't make them happy. You
no,
talk
I
too
just said, oh,
proper for the
really?
black
Okay.
ones. You talk too fast. Somebody told me to take some of that twist out my neck.
I'd have been on there with a hula hoop.
Baby, I didn't block that one because too far. But
How you telling me how to conduct my neck?
that's because that's what they
Oh,
love to
oh,
do
I'm
to
sorry.
us
I had
black
to
women.
catch myself. Go ahead. Because I almost said the N word. Go ahead.
No, because they do. They love to. First of all, I say the N word all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I have yet to be delivered. Don't know if I want to be. Okay. Because it just
Go
fits
ahead.
so well in a sentence. Anyway, to some of them, I just write back, thanks for the engagement, right?
Yeah, thank you.
But for me, when I say let's chit chat, I mean it. Let's chit chat. Let's have a conversation. If you don't have conversational skills, that's okay. I'm not the content creator for you, right? Like I make content for the girls who get it. And if you don't get it, that's cool. You just don't go here.
And if you don't like it, if you don't like me, if you don't like my delivery style, that's okay too. I've learned that
No,
too.
but see, there's no if with me. The
No, I'm
girls that
saying
get it, they get it.
right. But what I'm saying is, if you as a person are watching me and don't get it, that's fine. You can move on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to try
Mm-hmm.
to convince you to get it. I'm going to reference her again. She gave the best analogy, and it was so funny. I'm going to tell you what my husband said afterwards. But Jamie, that's me, was on the podcast last year, and I've kept this in my mind. She said, sometimes people will comment stuff and they'll say that the wildest stuff on your video, but then when you come back at them, then they're like, oh my gosh. She said, let me give you an example.
It's just content and they're taking
She,
that so serious.
she said, if you are driving through my neighborhood
Come
and
on.
you don't like my flowers that I planted like on my porch, but you driving around the neighborhood and you like other people's flowers, how dare you then decide to come, pull up in my driveway, knock on my door and say, I don't like your flowers? Then move from in front of my house. You don't have to look at my flower. You don't have to like my flowers. And that means my flowers are not for you. Go find a flower patch you like. So look,
But
when
you
my
know
husband
why?
heard it, he texted me. He said, tell her I need her to take a picture of her. I need her to take a picture of her garden so I could see, her flowers before. But it's true. You don't have to knock on my door to tell me I don't like your flowers. It's one thing. I can even take someone, because sometimes you will get excited and a thought, if you're interviewing somebody or talking, crosses your mind that is critical and don't want to forget. So you may say, oh, I hate to cut you off, but that can interrupt the flow of conversation. Or you get so excited. Some people want up, but for me, I like to relate. So if you say you've been through something, oh my God, yes, me too, we connect. But sometimes you need
Right.
to wait to let people finish their train of thought. So that's something that I know that I'm trying to work on in everyday life. I can understand that, right? I can take that like, hey, we really would like it if they
But
could
that's
finish their thought.
constructive criticism.
That's constructive. Not saying, I'm saying that I don't care for these particular women and you coming saying you're not proud to be Black. Were you bullied by light-skinned girls as a young girl? What? We're
But
watching a
that's
show.
because all of these people, thanks to the Reagans, were raised by their aunties. It's a whole generation of people out here that was, and I'm using aunties like figuratively, but it's a whole generation of people out here, men and women alike, who were raised by their grandmama and then raised by old people, raised by people who really felt like once they passed a certain age, they could say whatever. How many people have you heard say to you in comments or otherwise, I don't know how you're gonna feel about this, but shut up. You already knew the package was wrong when you started.
When you started
You just
that.
wanted to trample the boundaries because that's what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
I know you don't like this, but I gotta say it anyway. That's what the old people like to say. I know you ain't
Yes.
gonna like to hear this, but I just got to say it. No, you don't got to. You got to shut up.
And let me tell you, I take that on in my personal life, even with my kids. I don't have to say everything about my kids' choices. They're not getting ready to run into a brick wall. I just don't like the outfit that they got on today. That's their business. Their business. I don't like the outfit. I don't think such and such or whatever. Or you done wore that hoodie 2 days in a row. Guess what I do? I wash it. But when I'm out driving, I would like to wear comfortable things. So why do I have to say something?
But that
don't.
was that generation. They were raised by that. So they have to say something in your comments. Like, and sometimes it's past the engagement. Sometimes it's like, wow, you should really log on to betterhelp.com.
For real. Because for real.
Go check that
Like,
out.
I'm not even going to go back and forth with you. And there are some that I won't block because I don't care. You can see, but if you keep continually having conversation with me and I'm not responding back, it's always interesting. When I'm scrolling, if I don't care about something, I may say in my mind, nobody cares, and I keep going. Because if I take the time to comment, no one cares. I
Gotcha.
absolutely do care.
Gotcha.
So why are you commenting? I have said this podcast, YouTube, having elevated conversations around pop culture, yes, reality TV. So if I'm saying I'm having elevated conversations, I'm going to be talking about the things. I'll never forget on one of my YouTube videos, someone said, basically, if I could just run everything down like the news, like if you could get to it. And I said, the purpose of my channel is to provide commentary on what I'm talking about. And I understand that I may not be the content creator for you, but I'm not running down the news and then getting off. I'm providing commentary. I may not be the channel for you. And I said, and that's cool too. And that's it.
The analogy that I make, first of all,
we've run past our time. We said 5:05. It's 5:21. Tell your husband.
I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna get out your hair, man. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna open the doors of the church.
You see how she tried to blame me? I'm gonna say this and get out your hair. That's when people want to get off, because I do that. People want to get off, but then they try to blame me and be like, "Girl, I know you got stuff to do. I never told you that." But go ahead.
I'm chilling.
I can't.
Number one, I delete it. I like to delete it, especially when I feel like you just knew you ate down. Like if it's got too many punctuations in there, I delete it because I love for you to come back and be like, well, what did she say? Nothing, because it's not there no more. Poof, be gone. Number two, make you some content. Don't tell me what to do with my content. If you want somebody to run down the news, then you should pick up your phone, because we all got them, right? Everybody got the little red dot on their phone, and you should pick up a phone and do what you want to do with your red dot, and then you should post it. Lastly, in the real world, off of social media, and I know people don't like to touch grass, but when you go out there, would you give money for something that you don't like? You don't buy nothing that you don't like, right? On social media, you're commenting, your engagement, you're liking, you're sharing. That is the currency. If you don't like it, stop giving it your money. That just sounds, when you make it like that, it sounds stupid, right? You wouldn't go in the store and buy nothing you don't like. So I'm gonna buy this shirt just because I don't like the store. Don't come to this social media page and give me your currency if you don't like me. Because if you give me your money, I'm gonna say, oh, you're a paying customer. You want to be here. Thank you for bumping engagement. I heard a YouTuber yesterday say, please feel free to like or dislike the video because it does the same thing. And I was like, come on. Responding back to all of them now. I'd be like, I respond back to them. I'd be like, boost. Thanks for the engagement. I say all of it because that's all it is, my love. Yeah. Yeah. Elle. Taria. How you doing? I'm sad about Wendy. I know. Me too. Like, listen, let that be a lesson now. Yeah. Y'all stop using that little stuff that them Reagans done dropped in their street. Stop using that booger sugar now. Listen, and also I've learned a lot about guardianships and all of that. There's been a lot, like with her particular one and with the judge that granted her particular one being investigated, and how they will spin a story and put out a story that, oh, their son is spending money or this person is spending money, when really it's not even that. I have learned a lot, even just in when you win a lawsuit and people, it reminded me of Tom Girardi. Remember, he had won a case for the explosion that happened in the neighborhood, and the boy was burned over 80% of his body. And the boy said he called, the young man said he got a call from Tom and was like, the courts are recommending a guardian. Yes, he did. And that wasn't true. It was Tom. And then he was spending his money. He was only giving him a little bit of money at a time, and just learning how people are knocking on. Did he say like in total Tom had only given him like $1,500? Yeah, like, and he's got to get surgery for the rest of his life. For the rest of his life. Finding out that at the house chilling. Yeah. Watching a football game, right?
And his girlfriend was with him and passed away. And it just,
Mm-hmm.
there's people in regular life, home, older couples getting a knock on the door saying, we got a call from the department of whatever, whatever. You have three choices. You come with us, we take you, and it's not even, and then they end up afraid signing, and they are actually in their right mind. So it's just, I've learned a lot because of that. My prayers go out to Wendy and her family. And I said it before, I know it sounds cliche, but no, really and truly, my prayers for Wendy. Because imagine not only working all your life for your money, but working at something you love all your life, amassing this fortune, and then boom, this happens. It's one thing to be diagnosed with what you're diagnosed with, but you having people around you that don't care about you.
No, and I don't listen, her team, nobody has come out and formally said that her health issues are linked to any sort of substance abuse. But in a world where we know that like Drake has stomach issues, Meek Mill has come out, Bow Wow has come out, these substances take a toll
on your body.
On your body. You cannot
Mm.
do like live fast, die young. Like that's
and if you don't die
goes.
young, your older body suffers the consequences. My grandmother smoked from the time she was 12 until she was 50 some years old.
Wow.
Down, born and raised in Florida,
yeah,
down
know,
south, southern, 12, and then quit and was good for 20 years until she wasn't and got COPD, and just like that. So talk about, she quit for 20 years and was good, but then it came because of that, so it's like you said, those substances take a toll on your body. And it's by the grace of God that some of us are still here. And prayerfully, the grace of God will carry us and let us be in our right minds and have full use of our faculties as we get older. So it's so important, which is why I got to go do this workout now. Good God Almighty.
Baby, I'm so happy I did it before I got on with you, because
I almost did too. Y'all, when she texted me and was like, I'm on the Peloton, that was my intent, to either be on the Peloton or in the gym doing my weights.
I wanted to get done a little bit faster. I was cutting it close. I got off at 3. I had to shower, get
y'all,
dressed.
she said she was cutting it close. She had me thinking I had the wrong time. She was like, I'm off the Peloton now. I'm getting ready to jump in the shower. It was 3:00. I said, it's at 4, right? Because I've been known to mess up a time.
But I had to clean my body. I had to have a concert. I got to go on tour.
Girl, the shower is the best thing in shower.
I did. I had to open with my house. So I had to cut the tour short.
Did you say open with my house? That's welcome to my house, baby. That one? There's a stranger in my house? Well, which house? I feel like lightweight shade has come my way, but go ahead.
That's Beyonce.
What? I don't know. Is it on the Renaissance album?
What's happening? Is this a joke?
Wait, is it on the Renaissance album?
Girl, no, you didn't go see the Renaissance movie. It was the song that she dropped at the end of the Renaissance movie. It's the song from the Verizon commercial.
No.
Edit this out. Can't take no more. I can't. But I did. I had to have a shower concert.
Okay. And I like to clean up. I can't just, even if I'm running behind, I can't just shower, throw the towel here. Like I need to put all my lotions and stuff on and put it away. Like I don't like having to come back to that.
But I did all of that. I did.
So you had plenty. You had a good time.
I did. I showered. I had a little concert. I put on all my little smell good. Smell me.
Smell good. What is that?
Thank you. This is Tree Hut. I use the Tree Hut watermelon body scrub.
Girl, come on. Because I use Tree Hut too. Come on.
Hut pineapple whip shea butter.
Okay.
And then I use my Ed Hardy oil.
Do you know I stick when I tell you for about a year plus, that Ed Hardy perfume with the pink top.
The pink.
Girl, that
Ed Hardy picked up his foot and put it in that motherfucker. You hear me?
And
that thing smells so good.
Child, I might have to get a little whiff now. I love the smell of that.
I'm gonna get you the oil. Because just can't take myself to Marshall's and buy the pink Ed Hardy. It's
I know.
something about it that won't let me do it.
And I shouldn't feel that way, but I feel the same. Like, oh, so
I feel like if I brought
2008.
it, I would have to be like, could you come help me get this for my daughter? You know how you be lying to the people? That can somebody come help me get this for my niece? Now, these little babies, they like the perfume now. Help me.
Low key. Even the Paris Hilton, the pink and black bottle, I still like the smell of that, but I will not bring myself to buy it.
Never bought that one, but hey.
But that Ed Hardy, girl, you done took
Jessica
me.
Simpson in the little with the gold top.
Girl.
Listen, in 2009, they was making perfume like rent was due.
Perfume, girl, listen. And I was
them since Marc Jacob Daisy.
Girl, wait a minute. I never got that one, but I smelled it. I can literally see the bottle right now.
Baby.
I think they still sell that on Ulta right now on the shelf like it's new.
The rent was
due. Y'all.
I'm gonna send you the oil though, because it smells just like it. And I like to layer it with my body oils. I mean my like the whip butters.
You know what I feel like I need right now? A good hydrating body wash. Actually, I know I just need to go back to what I was using before. That's all.
I'm using the I don't know the name of it from Target, but it's got I don't know. It helps exfoliate the skin. So the body
I used to use Caress with the brown with the granules in it. And then when I went away last September with my husband, I took a small bottle of the Dove for sensitive skin that my kids use, and I used it. And my friend gave me a hug and was like, "Oh my God, it's such a clean smell," or such a something. And I felt refreshed. And then I started using it again. And I need to go. And I've noticed my skin, even though it's for sensitive, I need my exfoliation. So I need to go back to my Caress.
Oh Lord, you can't see it. Natural.
Yes, I can. Oh, I've seen that bottle. Yes.
Yes. It is this one is there's different ones, but this one is the smoother glycolic acid body wash. So it gently exfoliates and resurfaces to reveal softer and smoother skin.
I have seen that bottle. Because sometimes I get tricked by bottles and I have to make myself stop. Like, oh, I like that aesthetic, but does it work inside? Yeah.
No, I like her though. She works. And then I use my African washcloth. And then I use the sugar scrub.
Yes. Because I need my skin, when people touch it, to be like, oh, it's so soft. Like I'm a soft skin person.
That's important to me. I need my skin to be soft. I need somebody to tell me I smell good. But Carlos Miller on 85 South Show, who will also be on season 3 of Celebrity Edition College Hill.
Oh.
On the 85 South Show, one day he was playing around and he said to the ladies, if you get in the bed and your heels say on the sheets, you can't argue with your man. Girl. Only bitches whose feet don't make sounds in the bed can argue with their man.
Oh, well, I can argue then because
And he ate me up that day because the day that I heard it.
Oh, I caught you on a rough.
Was rough. Okay. And I said, let me go get these feet right so that no matter the day, no matter the occasion, I could be eligible to argue. You're not gonna have me benched on the ineligibility,
right?
Now I'm red shirted because my feet is ashy
because of my heels, not because of nothing else, but because of my heels, right?
Can't be me,
girl. You know what?
So I gotta make sure the skin is soft. Be ye ready, amen.
What the words say? Be ye ready. That's the word for this podcast. Be ye ready. And on that note, your husband will not get on me that we have gone 29 minutes past the hour, but tell him it was needed because it was a message to someone out there.
Listen, because we done told the people to be ye ready. So that means that whatever you're doing, whatever you praying for, whatever you manifesting, whatever you speaking in this season, please remember that faith without works is dead. Okay? Have your faith, say your prayers, manifest the thing, and then get off the main line and get to work.
I know that's right. And be ready for it when it comes. And don't try to control which way it's coming. Just be ready when it's there.
Ma'am, that's another word. Be ye ready. And then the second line is so that when the blessings that you have prayed for show up, don't let the window open and the blessings start pouring in and then you don't be ready. Now you scrambling.
Now you talking about some, don't come in, Becky. Come on in. Elle, tell the people where they can find you.
You can find me on TikTok until they ban it at just Elle Murasaki. And then you can find me on Instagram and YouTube under the same name. Twitter is too long, so I think it's Elle Murasaki.
And Elle is spelled ELLEMURASKI.
No, MURASAKI. Not you trying to sabotage me. You're trying to send them people to somebody else.
So spell it again. It's at Elle Murasaki, please. And I'm going to have the links in the description of the podcast app.
Just Elle Murasaki. So JUSTELLEMURASAKI.
Y'all make sure y'all find her. Have y'all said y'all prayers for Tickety Talk? Have y'all put it on y'all prayer cloth and taken it to the Lord? Or we just going to see where it falls?
And I hope it fall after that monetization on YouTube kick in. Huh? The church say
I started to do a TikTok because I was really going to try and say, am I too late? And then see what happens from there.
Do it, girl. You got 6 months. Be ye
also ready.
Hey, man, that means get in the field. You got 6 months. Who knows? You could be an overnight success.
I got to get in the field and plow.
You can't be successful on the app if you're not
on the app.
There you go. There you go.
Y'all, thank y'all so much for listening. For those of you that listened, if you're just listening, please jump on over to YouTube at WeGo, WEIGO podcast, and subscribe to the YouTube, share, comment, all the things. If you're watching, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and also jump over to the podcast, wherever it is you find all of your podcasts. What else is going on with Taria as Faison? Y'all, I love you. As always, we can be in the commentary. Just keep it respectful. Agree or disagree. All we have to do is keep it respectful. I love y'all, my babies. I love us for real. Talk to y'all later. See ya. Say bye, Elle.
It's $3.99 to be a good person, so get outside and do that shit. Bye.